Hi, my name is Foran, and I'm looking forward to offering you this restorative yoga practice for COVID-19 virus times. This is a response to help people deal with the physical and mental tension and the fight and flight response that this set of current events is causing for many of us. I'm honored to be your guide and to be able to share practices that are giving you skills to develop a positive and creative response to these times of change and uncertainty. My intention is to offer a practice where you can connect with the four basic elements, those elements of earth, water, fire, and air that are both inside us as well as outside us, so that throughout the practice we can see how those energies are able to be resourced and will allow us ways to connect with those energies to help us ground and connect. If you're new to the practice, just know that the practice is very slow. We'll be in postures for a little bit longer, laying over props, letting our body relax and stretch and breathe. At times we'll also be doing some slow, mindful movements. And today especially we'll be doing some more vigorous movements to connect with the element of fire. So we'll be practicing some movements, but a lot of postures will be laying still for periods of time in a supported practice. Please take good care of yourself. No, I'm not a doctor, so anything that I'm offering you, please notice if it feels good for your body. If a posture is not comfortable, come out early. This practice does not replace medical advice. This is a good time to now set yourself up before we move into the practice. We'll be about 60 minutes in this practice, so if you can set your lights to be a little bit dimmer, turn up the room temperature so you're warm, change into any clothes that are more comfortable and stretchy. Make sure that you have no tight bands. For this practice, we'll need a couple props. Ideally, you have a yoga bolster, a blanket, maybe an eye pillow. It's a weighted pillow for the eyes, or something that's like an eye band that can go over the eyes and darken the room. If you don't have a bolster like this, then you could always take two blankets and fold them similar to the way that I folded them here and put one on top of the other, and they can perform just like a bolster would. I also think it would be helpful if you had a glass of water to hydrate every now and then through the practice, and bring something to write on and something to write with, perhaps a journal if you have one. I'm looking forward to seeing you in this practice, being able to receive some great nourishing skills. Press pause here, gather your things, and we'll see you soon. So for our first posture, we'll move these blankets off to the side. I might use them a little bit later. If you do have extra blankets, they'll be helpful. For this first posture that we'll be doing together, we'll also put the blanket and the eye pillow off to the side. Take our bolster and put it into the middle of the mat, just like I'm doing. We're coming into a prone position where we want to lay our hips and our chest onto that bolster or set of blankets. You can take your hands forward and let your forehead rest down onto your hands. In this posture, if you're feeling uncomfortable with that head position, some people do like to use a little bit of extra height under the head, so you could do what I'm doing with taking that blanket and putting some extra support under the forehead. Or simply even just letting your head turn to one side could be another way to relieve any pressure in the upper back and neck. Just make sure if you turn your head to one side that you take time to also turn your head to the other side. So now that you're down in this position, let your forehead just rest on your hands. Let your knees open up the width of your mat and take your feet out the width of the mat. You can close your eyes, and we'll be in this posture for a period of time. So just let yourself sink into the feeling of laying down onto your stomach. Start to sink into that feeling of breathing into your abdomen. Notice if there's any part of your body that you would like to reposition so that you're more comfortable. It's not important right now if you're breathing through your nose or through your mouth. Just let yourself breathe comfortably. We're going to begin with a practice of tension and release. So as you're letting your body breathe, letting your body feel like it can settle down onto the bolster, let's connect with the lower part of the body by tensing the toes, tensing the calf muscles, the thigh muscles, and the buttocks. So take the next few breaths and just feel how to tighten all those muscles. Maybe you'll need to push your feet down, push your knees down, squeeze the buttocks muscles. And as you tense the muscles, still continue to breathe in a way that allows your belly to feel like it's breathing against the pressure of the bolster. Take one more breath with the muscles of the lower body from hips to toe tensed up. As you exhale now, let all those muscles relax. And then try now with the breath, as you inhale, tense all the muscles of the buttocks, the thighs, the feet. And as you exhale, use the exhale through the mouth and let the leg muscles relax. Try that one more time, inhaling as you tense all the muscles from buttocks to toes. And then exhale, letting all those muscles relax and release. Moving back into the deeper breath without tensing the lower body muscles, let's move our awareness to the upper body. So wherever the arms are, wherever the shoulders are, start to feel like you can tense the muscles from your rib cage through your shoulders, into your elbows, neck, and face. Tighten all the muscles. Continue to breathe normally like you're breathing into the belly, perhaps even a deeper breath into the belly. Take the next 2 or 3 breaths, finding where else could you squeeze? What muscles? Could you push your elbows down into the ground? Could you push your forehead down into your hands? Feel what you can tense up. And as you take your next exhale, let all those muscles relax. So that on the next inhale, you can tense all those same muscles, the shoulders, the elbows, the face, tighten the jaw. And as you exhale, release all those muscles with a one more time, letting all those muscles tense from the upper body through the shoulders, the face, tightening the tongue, and exhale. Take that deeper breath again in the belly, and I'd like to connect the upper and lower body in this tension and release. So when you take your next inhale, tense all the lower body muscles and the upper body muscles, and as you exhale, release everything. And try that 2 more times. Tighten, tighten, tighten as you inhale, pulling everything into the bones, and as you exhale, release everything. One more time on your own. You can now return to an easy breath, letting your whole body soften here. Starting to notice now, from after that tension and release, areas of the body that are starting to let go a little bit easier. Let's do a bit of a body scan to feel more of our body weight releasing down into the ground below, helping us to connect with the first element of earth. As you breathe into the belly, breathe so that you can feel your belly breathing against the bolster. Let each one of your exhalations be a way for you to drop a little bit deeper into that feeling of gravity pulling you down. Every time you exhale, feel another part of your body releasing down into the earth below you. You can even use that same exhalation through the mouth as you breathe out, allowing your body to relax even more. Begin to sense that support of the floor underneath you, that solid ground and earth underneath you can handle all of your body weight. So every breath, you can just let your body go with the exhale. To support that release even more into Earth's hug, that gravitational pull. Feel every part of your body in this body scan starting to release even more, noticing now the elbows, the arms, and the face. As you breathe out, feel the whole upper part of the body drop down closer to the ground as you breathe out. Taking your body scan down to the front of the chest, the front of the belly. As you breathe out, feeling that whole front of body sinking down into the bolster. Following that body scan down, breathing down into the lower belly and hips, allowing them to sink down into the bolster as you breathe out. Letting your awareness move down to the front of the thighs, the front of the knees, the shins and the feet, and feeling the whole length of your legs releasing their weight down into the pull of gravity. As you continue to breathe, feel that invitation to fall into the hug of our planet, into that pull of gravity. And begin to feel the solidity of your own body that's also made up of earth matter sinking in to the earth below. Notice that as you let yourself sink down into that pull of gravity, that there's a source of support in that solid foundation underneath you, that you can just let yourself be supported by the ground below. From time to time, use that exhalation as a way to release even more. For those that have their head turned to one side, try turning your head now to the other side to even out the twist in your neck. Continue to breathe down into the belly, allowing yourself to release into the exhale. And let's all start to bring our breathing into the same rhythm. So when you're ready, join me by now taking an inhale all the way in, breathing in through the nose if that's available, and then exhaling back out through the nose. And repeat inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. A little longer. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that 4 more times on your own, breathing slowly and deeply. As you're letting yourself sink into the earth with the exhalation, let come to mind all the things that come from our earth, from mountains to grasslands, to fields, to plants, to trees, to animals, all the things that come from the earth matter of this world. As you let yourself breathe and settle down into the supportive earth below, just feel that connection, that support that comes from being on this earth in so many ways. Take this time now breathing, where when you're inhaling and exhaling, you're consciously offering your sense of gratitude and appreciation for this supportive earth that's below. Using just the sound of your breath or using the counting of your breath, let yourself move into the next minute of silence, connecting with the element of earth, letting yourself sink down into its supportive energies. We'll start to move out of this earth posture by first letting the hands come underneath the shoulders and then pressing up onto hands and knees, sitting back briefly if it's comfortable, to letting the hips come onto the heels, and then pushing the bolster out of the way so we can come into a sitting position. Come into a sitting position where you can let your hands hold the back of your thighs. We're going to just do a little mild stretch for the back of the neck and the back of the spine by first rounding the back and letting the head lower down. And then when you inhale, lifting the lower and upper back and pulling the shoulders back, lifting the chin, and repeating that a few times, exhaling as you round your back to the room behind you, and then inhaling as you let your chest lift, your chin lift, and your shoulders pull back. Try that a few times to stretch out the spine, helping to counter stretch after that long held posture in a belly down position. The next time that you inhale up straighter with the spine, if it's comfortable, let your hands connect in behind your thighs. Otherwise, just continue holding your thighs or your knees. We'll stretch the neck out by letting the chin lower down to the chest and slowly rolling the head towards the right shoulder and letting the head roll right on top of the right shoulder. And then lowering the head down, rolling it back down into the chest, and then rolling the head over towards the left shoulder. Repeat that, exhaling as you let your head roll down into the chest, inhaling as you let your head roll to the other side, and luxuriate yourself in moving slowly as you let yourself inhale to one side, exhaling down through center, and inhaling to the other side for a few more breath rounds. The next time that your head is down in center, as you inhale, let your nose point up towards the front of the room. Let your legs shake out and put your hands behind you just to let the legs relax from that position. Clear out the space behind you, placing your bolster not too far off, as we'll be using in the next posture. Lowering yourself down onto your back, you may find it helpful to have a blanket for your head. Coming onto your back, and allowing the blanket to come underneath your neck and your head. We'll be moving into a simple twist position. So let's take the feet about hip width or wider, maybe even as wide as the mat. Let your arms, if it's comfortable, come up by the sides of your head and rest them on the ground. If for any reason that's not comfortable, you can let your arms spread out to the sides of the room. Close your eyes, breathe again into your belly, and allow your knees to slowly move down to one side. Breathe in to bring your knees back up to center, and then exhale, lowering the knees down to the other side. So let your eyes close if that's comfortable, and continue inhaling up to center, exhaling down to the other side. Continuing with the breath, breathing in, and then exhaling, breathing out to the other side. Continue that 2 more times to each side. Allowing the legs to move in a flowing way, just like the legs were moving underwater. Let's bring the arms into this practice as well. When your knees go down to the left, let your arms reach up towards the ceiling, bend at the elbows, and hold either elbow with either hand. Let both elbows now move over to the right. The knees are pointing to the left. And when you take your next inhale, both knees and elbows will come up through center, and then exhale, knees to the right, elbows to the left. And then repeat, inhale, knees and elbows coming up, and exhale, down to the other side. And just like that, continue to breathe in as the knees and elbows come up, exhaling down to the other side. Continue to go side to side, letting this motion take on a very flowing movement, just like the element of water has that fluidity to it. Let this movement have that same flow and fluidity. To stretch out some different areas of the upper body, consider moving your elbows more over the nose or over the face, or even extending the arms a little bit overhead and stretching them side to side there to find some other areas that might feel tight. 2 more times to each side, moving side to side with your breath. The next time that you're breathing in, let the knees and the hands come up to center. Place your hands underneath the back of your head and let your feet come together and knees apart for a brief period here in butterfly pose in the legs. Closing your eyes, connect with the breath. If for any reason, as I invite you to close your eyes, you'd rather have the eyes open, that's fine as well. Notice that when you're breathing, that your breath takes on a fluid-like motion as well, where the wave of your breath fills up the belly. And then as you exhale, it's like the wave of breath moves back out through the nose into the room. Take the next 4 or 5 breaths, feeling that flow of breath moving into the body like a wave washing into the belly, and then a wave of breath washing back out. 2 more times. Releasing your hands, letting your arms come back down into a neutral position. Releasing your legs, letting your legs feel that they can just relax in a more neutral position. We'll do a little bit more movement here. connecting again with the element of water, which has that fluidity and that motion. The movement we'll be doing is a side laying movement. So bend your left knee and let your right leg stay out straight on your mat. If it's comfortable, the right arm will come up by the side of the head. The movement is simple and it moves with the breath. So when you inhale, push your left foot down and roll yourself onto your right side. Just let your whole body slowly find its way onto the right side. And then as you exhale, roll back onto your back. And repeat that. Inhale, roll yourself onto your right side, letting your left arm rest over the left side of the head. And then exhale, roll back onto your back. Moving slowly and fluidly, again breathing in to roll onto your side and exhaling to roll back down onto your back. Try that 3 more times, moving with your breath. The next time that you are inhaling onto your right side, try to now balance yourself on your right side. Bend both of your knees and let your feet move behind you. Find a comfortable way to rest your head, maybe on your right arm, and if that's not comfortable, find again your blanket underneath your head to give your neck and head support. That top arm for some people is much better, just laying on the left side, so see what works for you. Take 3 more breaths here and try to let all the muscles in your hips and belly soften every time you exhale, connecting again with that wave-like breath moving all the way down into your abdomen. To make our way out of this posture, we'll let the left foot come down to the mat behind the right leg and slowly lower ourselves back onto our back. Before going to the other side, take a moment just to lay centered, breathe into your belly. And let's continue going to the other side. This time the right foot will be flat onto the floor. The left arm can come up by the left side of the head. Pushing your right foot down, inhale, roll yourself onto your left side, letting the right arm rest over the right side of the head, and then roll back onto your back. And repeat, inhale to roll yourself onto your left side. And exhale as you roll back onto your back. Try that 3 more times, letting your hips lead the movement and your chest and head follow along. Allow this movement to again take on that fluid, flowing quality. Moving with the breath. The next time that you inhale onto your left side, find a way to stay comfortable on that left side. Maybe bend the knees, let the feet come behind you, and either rest the right arm on the right side of the head or on the right side of the body. Take 3 more breaths here, allowing your belly and your hips to completely relax. Finding a way to let all the muscles of the body get a mild side laying stretch. One more breath round here. Straightening out your left leg. Let your right foot come to the ground behind you as you roll back onto your back. Again, center yourself so that you're able to take a breath with the arms and legs laying out in a comfortable position. Breathe into your belly, and if it's comfortable, once again, close your eyes and let yourself connect with that element of water. Connecting with the element of water in the same way that that wave-like breath flows in and out of your body. Imagine all the ways that water expresses itself in the world, in the cleansing flow of rivers and oceans, in the nourishment of rain and moisture. Let come into your mind all the ways that water flows in and out of our life. Let that wave-like breath that you're breathing help you connect with the flowing quality of water. And now we can move towards our fire practice. You can stay laying down on your back. As we connect with the fire element, we're moving like we did from earth to water to a more subtle form. From water to fire, it becomes even more subtle. That fire energy is more of vapor and heat quality rather than the fluid motion of water. So as a way to connect with the element of fire, we'll be doing some practices that raise the heat of the body. And the first one I want to invite you to do is just to simply bring your knees first in towards your chest. And then let your legs stretch up towards the ceiling. You can let your arms rest down or hold the back of the legs if that's more comfortable. But I'd like you to explore just doing a little bit of movement that's going to start building up some heat in the legs. Just let your legs sort of sway side to side. And we're actually going to bring this into more of not just a swaying motion, but a bit of a shaking motion. So you can sort of flip your ankles around. Try flipping your ankles around. And start shaking your ankles side to side and your knees side to side. This practice is giving you a chance to shake up and break up some heavier energy in the body. Let your legs even start taking on a bit of a kind of like a tantrum-like movement, like a little child taking a tantrum, kicking their legs. We're going to also bring in the upper body, letting the arms stretch up towards the ceiling and letting the arms shake in space. You can flip your wrists side to side, flip your elbows side to side. Feel like you're trying to shake out the legs and the arms. And I'd like to do this for another full minute. So let yourself get a little bit creative here, where you're letting your shoulders shake against the ground, letting your hips shake against the ground. See how much of you can shake while still breathing, helping the legs and the arms to feel a bit of heat build up. Shake, shake, shake. Keep breathing into the belly. Notice just how big your movements can be or how small they can be to create that heat in the body. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. 4 more breaths. As you take your next breath out, bend your knees into your chest. Hold your knees with your hands. Take a breath or two supporting your legs. If it feels good, you can let yourself rock side to side. We'll be doing a few more movements as a way to build up heat before we come into our still posture. Let's bring the feet down to the ground and practice what I call hip dribble. You can let the back of the hips be like a basketball that you're dribbling against the ground. So to do this, you'll let your hips lift off the ground a couple inches and then drop them back down. And you can repeat that action where it feels like you're at first tapping the back of the hips against the ground. And then as you go a little bit faster, it's like you're dribbling a basketball against the ground. Feel free to close your eyes And just concentrate on trying to let that dribbling of your hips become a bit of a rhythm. If you need to pause and take a break, take a breath to keep it in that rhythmic dribble, you can. You can slow it down if it starts to get erratic. But try to dribble the back of the hips with the eyes closed if that's comfortable for another full minute, breathing into the belly. Even though we're using muscles in the lower body, try to let your belly and thighs feel the jiggle or the rattling of this movement. So you're helping to break up any stiff energy in the hips. Just 3 more breaths. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Rock, rock, rock. Tap the hips against the ground. 1 more breath. And then when you exhale, let the hips come to the ground. And then once again, give the knees a little gentle hug into the chest. Allow your body to roll a bit side to side, breathing into the abdomen. I have a final practice that I'd like to practice with you to build up a little bit more heat. And that is, if it's comfortable, you're going to lead your knees into your chest and lift your head up. This could be a very strenuous practice for some, so I invite you to also leave your head on the ground if that's more comfortable. And even yet, you can let your legs rest on the ground and do this if knees to chest is not working. So the practice we're going to do is actually sharp exhales out through the nose repeatedly as we pull the belly up and in. So when you exhale, practice at first just letting that breath come out through the nose like this. So forceful exhales through the nose, and whether your body is lifted up into a curled position or the head is resting down, allow that movement to be coordinated with the belly lifting up and in so that when you're exhaling, it's like you're pushing the exhale out with the belly. We're going to do this for 1 more full minute, so join me. And if you're comfortable, go a little bit faster. Keep going, allow your face to relax, completely pulling the belly up and in when you exhale. Ten more, 8 more, 9 more. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And inhale, release your head down, let your feet come down, and let your legs rest out. Take a breath here. Now you've had a chance to warm this body up with some physical movement. We'll move into our static stretch for the fire element. Roll yourself over to one side, pressing yourself up to find your bolster. Bringing your bolster back onto your mat and letting your blanket come to where your head will land. Center the back of the hips up against your bolster and use your hands to lower yourself down, centering your spine on the bolster and letting your head come onto the blanket. Take your arms, rest them out, and let your legs stretch out, opening the feet as wide as the mat. Here, you can let your eyes close, or if it's in within reach, you can find your eye pillow and lay your eye pillow over top of your eyes or your eye band. This is a chance for you to now move inwards and connect to that fire element within. Slow, steady inhalations through your nose and slow, steady exhalations through your nose. Allow your body to relax over the support of the bolster. Feel what it's like to let your arms just fall completely open. Let your legs drop away from their midline. And and start to connect with that element of fire that's inside of you, that life force, that energy that you can feel has the presence of warmth in your skin. Breathing in through your nose, breathing back out through your nose. You can still use that cleansing exhale from time to time as a way to let go. As a way to tune into this fire element of your life energy. Let your attention move down to your abdominal area, the area that's getting a stretch open from this laid over supportive back bend. Feel that wave-like breath that's coming in, filling the belly, and exhale, emptying back out. Feel that wave-like breath help connect you to the warmth that's built up in the belly through those previous exercises. Let yourself connect with that radiant comfort that heat provides. Appreciate that heat as the energy that fuels your life. Slow, steady inhalations and slow, steady exhalations. Just allow yourself to fall into that flow of inhale and exhale, slowing the breath down. Use the sound of your breath, or even use the counting of your breath to help the breath find that slower rhythm for you to drop into. As you continue to breathe slowly, let yourself imagine how fire expresses itself in the world, as it does in the light of the sun, in the radiant heat from the core of our planet, in the modern use of heat for food and shelter. Let the heat of your body connect you with the energizing and warm quality of fire in the world. And take a few more breaths here in the supported back bend, connecting with the warmth that's inside of your body, feeling that element of water and letting it breathe itself and spread your breath through the arms, through the legs. Take a few more breaths here in this supported back bend. Taking one more breath round here, allowing that breath to nourish your entire body. Let's slowly bend the knees and bring the feet back onto the floor. Tip your knees over to one side and roll over onto that elbow and press yourself up off of the bolster. We're going to now set ourselves into a laying on the back posture, moving the bolster down to the leg end of the mat. So take your head blanket to the head end of the mat and your bolster to the leg end of the mat. And let yourself once again come back down onto your back. Once you're on your back with your body centered on your mat, we'll take a little counter stretch from that back bend, letting the knees come into the chest, holding onto the knees or the back of the thighs and breathing into the belly as you slowly roll side to side. Let this motion help to massage out any tension that may have come into the lower back from that back bend. And then lowering your feet down onto the bolster. Let your legs stretch out over the bolster. If you're feeling a bit cool, this would be a good time to put a blanket over the body. Make yourself comfortable for this final laying posture. Taking your arms and letting them spread out to the sides. Letting your knees drop out to the sides. And again, using an eye pillow or an eye band to cover the eyes so you can move your attention inwards. Now connecting with the air element. Moving inwards. Feel once again the movement of your breath moving in and out. Noticing what the breath feels like as it moves past the nostrils. As we move into this element of air, it's the least dense of all the previous elements, from the solidity of earth to the fluidity of water to the vapors and heat of fire. Now we're moving into the spaciousness of air. Feel that air coming all the way inside of you as you breathe it in through your nose into your lungs. And feel that air moving all the way back out of your body, out through your nose into the room. Let yourself connect with that very basic element of air sustaining you in this very moment. I'd like to invite you to breathe your breath into all areas of your body. Let's experiment with that by feeling that every time you inhale, just imagine your breath filling up your chest, your shoulders, your arms, right out to your hands. And in doing that, let your fingers spread out as you go to the top of your inhale. And when you exhale, let your fingers relax and naturally curl as you breathe out. Take the next 3 breaths, feeling the air breathe itself into the chest, into the arms, letting the fingers spread out at the top of the inhale, and then relaxing the fingers as you exhale. Take 2 more breaths like that, like you're inflating your arms with air, and then deflating the arms as you breathe out. Continue that experiment, moving your attention downwards. When you take your next inhale, visualize the breath that you're breathing the air down into your hips, into your legs, right out to your toes. And at the top of your inhale, let your toes spread a bit. As you exhale, let the toes soften, let the legs relax, let the breath move back out. Continue breathing, visualizing your breath moving down into your legs, letting the toes spread at the top of the inhale, and letting everything relax as the breath moves back out and the body deflates. Take 2 more breaths down into your lower body, spreading the element of air into your legs and feet. Let's connect the whole body now, and when you inhale, let the fingers spread open, let the toes spread open as you fill up with breath. As you exhale, feel the fingers and the toes fall back together as the body deflates. Take the next 3 breath rounds, letting your whole inhale feel like it's reaching the ends of the fingers, the ends of the toes, and feeling like the exhale empties all ends of the body. And now let your fingers and toes relax, yet still imagine when you're breathing that you're letting your breath reach out to the ends of the body. We'll extend this a bit further, that on the next breath, picture with your mind, breathe into as if you're filling this whole room that you're laying in, out to all 4 walls, the ceiling as well. You're filling the room with your breath, and when you exhale, let the breath again empty out from the body, out through the nose. Experiment as you inhale, let the breath become as wide as the room. And as you exhale, let the breath empty back out. Experiment further with letting your breath feel like it can extend beyond the size of this room, perhaps filling the whole house, building, or city that you're in. And as you exhale, feel the breath move back out through your nose. Continue to experiment with this visualization, letting that breath of air help you expand into larger spaces, maybe filling the breath as large as the continent that you're on, or filling the entire globe of the planet, feeling yourself expand out into the world through that deep inhale, and then exhaling, emptying the breath out. Imagine how air expresses itself in the outside world as sky, as wind, as atmosphere. As you breathe in and out, cultivate the gratitude for air, for giving us our basic need for oxygen. Take the next few breaths just feeling that gratefulness for the element of air moving in and outside of us, connecting us all. And so let's transition from this element of air into this beautiful song by Michael Moon that helps us to connect all the elements together. Allowing yourself to move inwards, listen to the words of this song, and for each element, allow for you to connect inwards to those elements within. Breathe and feel with the sounds of this music. Enjoy.
Awaken, spirit of the earth. Awaken, spirit of the earth. I feel you grow in me. Awaken, spirit of the earth. Awaken, spirit of the earth. I feel you grow in me. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. Awaken, spirit of rain. Awaken, spirit of the rain. I feel you flow in me. Awaken, spirit of rain. Awaken, spirit of the rain. I feel you flow in me. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. Awaken, spirit of the wind. Awaken, spirit of the wind. Awaken, spirit of the wind. I feel you blow through me. I am whole. I am whole. I am whole. Awaken, spirit of the sun. Awaken, spirit of the sun. I feel you burn in me. Awaken, spirit of the sun. Awaken, spirit of the sun. I feel you burn in me. I am whole. I am
Start to move your fingers and toes. And breathe a little bit deeper down into your belly. When you're ready, let your feet come onto the bolster and take a few moments just to let your knees sway side to side, helping your body prepare for transitioning from this Shavasana. Rolling yourself over to one side, let your body roll onto that side, taking a breath there for another moment just to pause before you use your hands to press yourself up to a sitting position. Go ahead and let your eyes still be closed or mostly closed as you come up to sitting. We'll be taking a moment here to connect with our heart center and move into what's called a broadcast mudra. So let's just bring the palms together in front of the heart center. Let your thumbs connect to your heart center, let your fingers spread out, and feel how this hand position connects you with millions of others who complete their self-care practice, their well-being practice with this very same hand position. After we finish the broadcast mudra, we'll come back to this hand position. For the broadcast mudra, let's all take our hands out into this position with the palms facing outwards like satellites. To do the broadcast mudra, we'll simply sound out the long sound of ah. And we'll do it 4 times. Once to the center, once to the left, once to the right, and then back to center. So joining me, letting this broadcast mudra help send out all your well wishes into the world, sending all the good energy that you cultivated in your practice today. Join me, inhaling deeply into the belly and sounding out ah. Inhaling to the left. Ah. and to everyone on the right. And inhaling back to center. From my divine light to your divine light. Thank you for practicing. Before you move on with your day, I'd like to suggest that you find time right now to even grab that pen and paper. Write down a few words that help describe some of your experience in this practice, some of your reflections, things that you'd like to integrate into the coming days. I hope that you'll continue practicing and come back to this video, taking a chance to be with yourself again, connect with the elements, help resource those energies to support you in staying grounded and centered. You're welcome to contact me anytime. Check out my Functional Yoga Facebook page or my webpage at functionalyoga.ca. Thank you for practicing with me, and I'd like to send out a special thanks to my wonderful husband who has helped videotape this whole session, as well as an appreciation to Michael Moon for his beautiful background music that we've been able to enjoy today. Thank you, everyone, for what you're doing in this unprecedented time of change. Namaste.